everyone, this is Nick from Mecha Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 77. Let's jump right into it with week in review. This is where we talk about what's been going on this week, things that are coming up, stuff like that. And I guess I don't know. We've got a few different things to talk about. Number one, we announced last week a skill builder challenge on the Discord. If you're not familiar, the Discord is our kind of private community for our customers. It is a basically like a chat server, and it's a great place to interact with other gunpla builders, model builders, etc. And we try to do some contests on there exclusively for the Discord, and we try to keep them kind of informal, and so we call them skill builder challenges. Basically, the only main rule that's been consistent through them is that you try something new, and it's really an attempt to get people out of their comfort zone and doing something that maybe they wouldn't have tried otherwise, or help spark some ideas, things like that. This time around, we are doing bases is the theme, so you don't need to even build a Gundam. You can put a previously made build on it if you want to add color, if you will, but your goal is to build some sort of base, whether that's painting up an action base or custom building a little diorama base or vignette or something like that. That's basically it. If you're on the Discord, there's a whole channel for that. If you're not on the Discord, if you've made a purchase before, you should have received an email with an invite link. You can jump on there and check that out, and if for some reason you didn't get that invite, feel free to email Patrick, support@mechawarehouse.com, and he can help you out with that. Next up, we also had an interview this week. A few weeks ago, I sat down for like a Zoom call with Sam from Splash Paints. We talked about Splash Paint, a little bit about what they're doing over there. I think it was a good interview and definitely worth checking out. If you're curious about a little bit of the behind the scenes and background on some of our vendors, that would be good. We're hoping to do more interviews like that in the future, and definitely worth taking a look. And then I guess the third thing for week in review is I want to kind of talk about our order limits. So a while back, we added limits on the website that prohibit people from buying more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of an item. We set that limit when things come in stock. If we think it's going to go particularly fast, maybe we didn't get enough of them, maybe demand is just crazy for that item, or some combination of the two. And so we add those limits. It's enforced by the website at checkout, and it will prevent you from checking out with more of them, kind of basically there to prevent scalping, and more, or maybe not more importantly, but just as importantly, try to make sure that as many people as possible get a chance at a kit that we expect to go fast. If you've seen some of our restocks, there are items that will sell out in minutes, and sometimes hours, sometimes within the day. But I think allowing everybody a chance at something is kind of important, especially while we're trying to get more stuff in. Should be less of an issue going forward in the coming months, because we're placing these larger and larger orders to try to get ahead of these. Really, we don't want to be selling out in minutes. We want to have stuff in stock for an extended period of time if possible. And so we've got those limits in. We've had a few instances where we've caught people trying to go around those limits, and the main reason I want to talk about this is because I want everyone to know that those limits are there in place, and if we catch you, you're not going to get any of that item. It's not fair to other people. We're trying to prevent scalpers. Don't be that jerk that takes more than your share. If they're still in stock at the end of the weekend, a week later, feel free, place another order. We'll usually remove those limits or adjust those limits, sometime in the week after the restock, if there's still items available, things like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Let's move on to our new segment, Nick's Tips. This week, I want to talk about checking your kits. So if you've ever received a kit and maybe there's been an issue on the runner, maybe a part is missing, happens every once in a while, not super frequently, but it's possible. Maybe a part got broken off in transit, maybe got shaken off a runner, things like that. Best practice is to actually open your kits when you get them, because Bluefin, now Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America, does provide replacement parts for free within 60 days of that purchase. You need a sales receipt. You need to contact them, and they will send you those parts for free. So I know I don't always follow this practice, but a good idea is when you get a kit in, crack open the box, take a quick peek at the runners, see if there's any issues, because if you're like me, you throw the kit on your backlog, you might not build it for 6 months or a year, and if that's the case, you might not notice that issue while the kit is still, a purchase was within that 60-day window. So definitely worth doing. Okay, let's move on to pre-orders. We had a bunch of good pre-orders this week. Lots of model support goods from Kotobukiya. These are like weapons and accessory packs, great for customizing and doing custom work, things like that. So MSG heavy weapon unit 1 strong rifle. So you got your big, almost like sniper rifle kind of setup there. MSG hand unit sharp hand 2. It's basically an extra set of hands. I think with sharper fingers is where that's coming from. The MSG Heavy Weapon Unit 25 Knightmaster Sword. So you got your big honking sword. MSG Weapon Unit 39 Multiple Gun. Looks like basically little turrets. Might be good for building even like a diorama base or something. MSG Unit Weapon Unit 08 Battle Lance. It's a pretty cool lance kind of setup. We also got from Hexagear the V-Thor, which is an interesting Hexagear design, big curved sword. I'm actually kind of interested in that one. We'll see what it looks like when it comes in. And then we got two figures from Mega House, from Gundam Guys Generation and Gundam's Girls Generation, the Quattro Bahina and Haman Karn. So if you're into figures, those might be worth checking out. Some of our first getting our feet wet into figures. We've been doing a little bit more and more here and there, worth checking out. I think there were a few other model sport goods that I didn't list that were pre-orders and items we've already had in the past, but are currently out of stock for the next shipment. So with pre-orders done, let's move on to restocks. We're going to walk around and take a look at some of the restocks. We got a bunch of interesting stuff in. This was a smaller shipment from one of our secondary suppliers, and there were a bunch of things that we're not even going to list. They won't be going on the website because we were only able to get a handful or less of certain items. So keep an eye out on the Discord for some special deals on things we couldn't get a lot of. All right, restocks. First up, we got the Master Grade Wing Zero. We didn't get a ton of these in. This is the older version of the kit, not a bad one. Probably not as good as the Verka. We also got a few more of these Batman Figure Eye Standard Amplified in. These went super fast last time, so if you missed out, here's your chance. And then we also got from Borderline AMAIM more of the Stork Carrier. Continuing with the Warrior at the Borderline, we got the AMAIM Ghost. These were also sold out super fast last time, so we got a few more in. The Esposito Alpha in the 30-minute missions. This is the like transforming flight kind of version of 30-minute missions kits. And then the Rabio Option Weapon 1, or Option Weapon 1 for Rabio. We also got the Dukamon Gallantmon Digimon kit, another interesting one. The kind of nice look on that. And we also got in some more of the LED units, Gunpla LED Unit Green. This is the set of 2, I think intended for the GN drive kind of setup for 00 kits, but it's also 2 green LEDs. One of the things that we got a lot of in this batch was Star Blazers, aka Star Blazers 2199, aka Battleship Yamato. We got a ton of kits in, so this is the first of them. This is the combined Cosmo Fleet Set 1, which actually appears to be multiple ships. If you're unfamiliar with Star Blazers or Battleship Yamato, it's basically like a space battleship kind of thing. Lots of different ships in that series, so that's the first of many. So next up, we got the other combined Cosmo fleet. This is set 2, so this is, I think, four more ships from that fleet, I think, if I understand correctly. So even more of that stuff. Another one of the big ones we got was the Gilvades class Darreld. So almost like a space aircraft carrier kind of thing, maybe. Back over here, we got the actual Battleship Yamato. I think this is one of 2 different versions of it that exists. This one we didn't get as many as we would have liked, and I think is going to be one of the more popular ones from the line. We also got a metric ton of all these little ones of various types. So if you're looking into building a fleet, I think these are maybe non-scale. The bigger ones, I think the big ones are scaled, so these are all a variety of ships from the series. There are a lot of them. More down here. Yeah, but wait, there's more. You order in the next 10 minutes. Yeah, you will get your order at some point. Okay, next up we got the entry grade Kirby, as well as the Pokemon Ho-Oh. Sounds like it should be some sort of chocolate confection that comes in a plastic bag. Okay, a few more kits over in this section here. We got the Fighter Nose Collection. So these are from Max Factory, and it's Macross. So it's just the like cockpit section, nose section of one of the Macross jets, I guess. I forget what they're called. And so those are new. We also got some more of the HG, the Origin RX-78s. These, I think we were just ran out of our last batch of them, so we've got some more of those. And then the SD Gundam World Heroes Arsene Gundam X we also got in as well. Lastly, we got in some more Gundam Converge, these little kind of figures. We got this set that came in, I think it's the 10th anniversary selection 1. We've got the Gundam Mark II Titans Colors, the Sazabi, always a favorite, the Gyan, Barbatos Lupus Rex, I think. Yes, Barbatos Lupus Rex. And then we got 2 versions of the Zuda, which appears to be a Zaku-like design. We've got the type A and B, C, I think. Unit 1, Unit 2/3. So whatever they're from, there must have been 3 of them, and 2 of them are similar. Okay, now that we're back, let's move on to Q&A. So Q&A, this is the part where we answer questions from you, the viewer. If you have a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer your question next week. And our first question from Plastic Germs. Question, are there any hobby products or model kits out in the field that Mecha Warehouse does not carry that you would like to carry? If so, what are a few of them? I feel like I've answered a lot of this stuff fairly regularly in some version or another. There's a bunch of paint lines, Gaia. There's some other Vallejo paint lines. There's probably a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head that are on my list to look at and possibly stock. I want to start carrying like Tamiya spray cans. I would like to carry plot plate and diorama type supplies, because I think those would be good for our customers to have access to. Resin conversion kits are something I would like to look into, and a lot of the stuff, once we figure out expanding the actual warehouse footprint and having more space, will be kind of on the list to start working on. And then one other question from Plastic Germs, fun question. Would you and the Mecha Warehouse crew like to see another Gundam universe created for an anime, or a continuation of Universal Century after Turn A? So I haven't seen Turn A. I know that's way in the future after everything else, I think. So I'm not super familiar with that. So I don't know. I think Universal Century is such a large canvas to add stories to. I don't know about after turn A, but I'm sure there's plenty of stories that could fit in within the timeline that would be great. And but then again, I wouldn't necessarily mind a completely new kind of universe timeline to get put together. They both sound like good ideas. I'm sure they have plans to do both at some point.
So would I like to see a new timeline created or a continuation of Universal Century after Turn A? I'd rather see a continuation of Universal Century before Turn A. Like, I'd really like to see more of Origins animated.
I would prefer another timeline. I haven't gotten so far into the Universal Century section, so I'm not super familiar with that. But another timeline, kind of like Double O or Iron Blooded Orphans, there's a lot more they can work with. So I think that'll be interesting.
All right, next question. Robert Hanifer, I have a Q&A for all Mecha staff. If you were a Gundam, which would you be and why? It must be a Gundam, not Jim Zaku, etc. I don't know. I think only Setsuna can be a Gundam, so I'm not sure if I can actually answer this question. I think this is such a weird question because it's different than what's your favorite Gundam or which Gundam would you pilot. So I don't know if I'd want to be any Gundam because then I don't know what Gundams take their own like personality. Some of the Wing Gundams kind of do. Like they make decisions. Like I guess I could see being the Zero system and corrupting someone's mind. Yeah, being a psycho frame. Like I just most Gundams aren't really sentient, so it's kind of I don't know if I want to be a big pile of metal. Interesting question though.
Which Gundam would I like to be? I don't know as I'd like to be any Gundam specifically. I mean, I suppose if I were going to be a giant mech, I'd probably go with an Eva. Probably be the easier transition.
If I was a Gundam, I'd be Deathside Hell because Deathside Hell is the best Gundam.
Next one from the Escalator. Do you order the kits from USA, Japan? Gundam USA, Japan? If not, where do you order the kits from? And how do you display your models? Also own the HG Gyan Restocks. There's like 3 questions in here to unpack. So we get the vast majority of our model kits from Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America. That mouthful, BNTCA, which is was Bluefin. They merged directly in with Bandai and kind of changed their name. So that's where the vast majority, like 97% of our, at least our Gundam stuff. We get model kits from Kotobuki and stuff like that as well, and a few other brands, but that's where the majority of our stuff comes from. We also have a few other U.S. distributors that essentially buy from them and then sell as well, that we are able to get some straggling items from, top off, things like that. As for displaying my models, personally, I have a Detolf case, one of those IKEA display cases in my office at home. It's a great, inexpensive display case. I've got one of those to display my models, and I've got a second one that's been sitting in my basement for like 2 years that I need to assemble when I can make some more room in my office. And as for the HG Gyan, I don't know when we'll be getting the Gyan. Looks like we have no confirmed orders at the moment. We're expecting confirmations in a week or two. I'm not sure if we had ordered any of those, so I'm not sure if we will be getting confirmations on it. Next one from Bob Odell. When are you getting 8th MS Team Master Grades? So I did a little bit of looking before shooting today. A lot of them are not currently on confirmed orders. I think a bunch were on the order form, so we might be getting confirmed soon. I know we do have some, I think the Gym ground type due to come in. I'm not sure exactly when, but if they're confirmed, that would mean in the next 3 to 6 months, hopefully sooner. And one last question from Derek Long. Controversial ideological question. Do you and the minions unroll your toilet paper from the top or bottom of the roll?
TP from the top or bottom? Like, I'm pretty sure there's only one option comes off the top, like over the front. Otherwise, bottom, I assume you're meaning from the back, which is just wrong.
Only barbarians have the toilet paper from underneath.
I think I'm going to answer this with a question of myself, or question of my own. I thought it was front or back. Okay. Anyway, so if you have a question you want answered, post your question down in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer it next time. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.